chat set up here. All right. We are set. Test. Yeah. Okay. Start recording. That. Tonight we're going to be playing Admiral Brass, the Unsinkable. This is a request from one of my members of the channel. I was doing the gameplay and text for Foundations, but the fourth and final one that I normally do wasn't all that, like, I couldn't pick one that I really liked, so I let a bunch of people vote and decided to play something like this. I guess if pirates and Santa Claus had something in common, ho would be the word. um, because I'm not playing on a budget this time around, I always have a hard time cutting cards. Right now we're at 116, so I'll have to make this a little bit smaller. The other thing is, like, when you don't have a budget, then all cards are available for you to use. And I don't even have, I think, everything I necessarily like yet. Like, I think you could play this in different ways. Extra combats, extra turns, so you could really take advantage of the bottom ability. But because the bottom ability cares about your graveyard, you could also be playing a mill strategy. So I think what I want is just the perfect blend of everything with a high creature count, which I don't think my creature count is quite high enough. So we still got some things to work on. Brass is nice because she also has a mill trigger, stapled onto it. So I kind of want to look up the best mill cards in Grixis here. I know that Mesmeric Orb is probably one of my all-time favorites. There has to be a mill Grixis list out there. Choose the color. Free color. Yeah, there is. Doesn't really matter which one to pick. I just want it to be mill. So I want to see the top cards from this list in particular. And we want to mill ourselves. We're not trying to mill other people. Maybe I need to be more specific. Self-mill is pro. Or we just didn't pick the right commander. I think Cass likes to mill themselves. It's probably the better commander to look what we want, because it doesn't let you play other people's cards. Boomsy Unthinkable is good. Hey Ariel, D Engelume. I don't know if I butchered that name. I'm sorry. Did my best. Right now, I'm just trying to make some finishing touches on here. I'm at 117. I'm playing not on a budget, which is classic of me. When I don't play on a budget, I always have more cards to cut, and it makes sense because I always have to find more cards to pick. Um, case you didn't know, I'm playing this commander because a member requested of me to play this. See, as Miracle Orb's like the only thing that really interests me. Maybe Glimpse the Unthinkables, a nice one-off effect. Ooh, um, there is a card that lets you tutor for 3 creatures and dump them in your graveyard. That's probably a must. Is it Buried Alive? I'm thinking of. Get our 3 best pirates. Then we have, yeah, that's perfect. Looking at other like commanders and other synergies also like opens up doors for cards that would fit nicely synergistic wise. And like Buried Alive is just one of those things that just slipped through the crack. And luckily, because I wanted to explore the mill theme, just kind of popped in my head. Altar of Dimension is not bad either because if our tokens that we animate with Admiral dies or about to die, we could use Altar, refuel. One ring's too good to ignore. Frank Sanity's pretty good. Throw it on ourselves. Yeah. We're just increasing that cap of cards we have to cut on the back end, but oh well. Ashiok's good. I like hosing people tutoring their libraries. And we mill ourselves with the down tick. Okay. We gotta cut a lot. So our land count's probably a little high. I wish we had better mana production. I think we have 10 total with Urza's Incubator. Talismans, Signets at 6, 7. Arcane Signet and Felwar Stone 9. Yeah, so 10. Probably under. Man, what sucks is pirate decks are very mid-rangey. A lot of the creatures are 3 or 4 mana, the ones that are worth playing anyways. That means you're gonna have a lot of clunky hands, and that's a lot of clunky gameplay. So we got to figure a way to fix that. Luckily, there's a treasure sub theme with a lot of pirates, so that kind of helps with our problem in that department. But I fear that it's not quite good enough. And we still have to increase our pirate count, so we might be here for a bit. Just trying to smooth some of our problems out before we actually get to the gameplay here. We definitely have too many lands. Probably 36. It's here. Do one of each. Play it kind of risky. Tap lands. I thought it'd be nice for the scry, but nah. Tap lands get you killed most of the time. Dinner's Lounge you could tolerate because it's anything. You could tutor it. Maybe we do just give it up. Yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but no, we don't need. I'd prefer just lands that tap for multiple colors. All right, moving on. Making quick decisions. I don't want to be here all night. I want to play the game. Uh, I might be being a little too protective of our commander. Like, the worst thing that could happen is our commander dies and we get a new ETB trigger to mill. So maybe I give up these like indestructibility protection pieces. Probably have way too many removal spells for being a creature aggro list. You get some of these. Not a fan of Chaos Warp anymore. It's just too expensive for what it does. Um, Probably give up Maestro's Charm. Ah, what's up, man? I'm not doing a budget, so I'm sorry if you were hoping for a budget. I was just in the mood for a non-budget version of this list. Right now, I'm making some cuts where I got 13 left to go. How's your Magic Night? We don't need any integral instants or sorceries, so we give that up. Um, Fatal Push is a little too niche. I like Fatal Push when you know you're playing with CDH players because they always it continuously or consistently hits things, and when you're playing with a bunch of randoms, it has its misses more often than not. But pretty heavy. Yeah, that's fine. This isn't an infinite list. I did honor that request of yours. Um, Speaking of proxying, I'm still a little bitter about the whole secret lair with Marvel. I wasted a good chunk of my time trying to do that stuff. Like, I think I was in line from the moment it started and nothing happened, and I didn't know that you know everything was sold out until like 5 hours later or whatever. It was pretty disappointing from like a time standpoint. It was a bummer. Like, I invested way too much time for just to get hosed. I turned the volume on my phone down. It's weird. I'm not used to having my phone turned on. I'm normally awful at responding to text messages and phone calls, but my job has made me carry that thing on my hip and always on. Kind of miss the old days when having my phone on me all the time wasn't so important. Since they're such a mid-rangey list, maybe I should prioritize counter magic too. Because I'd hate to bust my keister, getting a decent board only for it to all go away. That's probably more important. Mana Drain's great for a mid-rangey list. This 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, pardon me. I think 12 makes Mizzy Moors. Probably good on the removal front. Yeah. Okay. How many cards we got left to cut? Yeah, okay. Darn. 12 to go. Start chopping down from the top. Our curve's already not too bad. It's a little. It could be better. All right, look at it. Let's organize it. CMC. Oh no. There we go. We give up these big extra turn spells. Fortunately, I do think extra turn spells are a necessary evil. Hey, happy Friday, Cromwick. How you doing? I love Fridays, man. Ever since I started a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job, I'm like, holy cow! I I miss my old job a little bit. I had it so easy in my last job. I used to do private duty nursing, where I just see a client all day and I'd work with them for 12 hours. And I only did 3 hour or 3 days a week, and I worked Friday through Sunday night. And that's when I had a lot of time for editing and doing videos. But now, oh my gosh, I start early, get done midday, pick up my kids, spend quality time with them, and then I have to chart normally after I put my kids to bed. Depends on how rough my day is, and then by the time I'm done, it's like 9, 10 o'clock, and I'm dog tired, ready for bed. That's 5 days a week almost. The grind is hard. Maybe I can get away with a lower creature count since I'm got a nice little mill package. That means I get to play more consistent pirates, the more scary pirates, and maybe I could get away with a low creature count. I'm not entirely sure. But extra combats are also ideal, but extra turns are even better because that means we get to untap and play more stuff and fix our clunky mid-rangey plan. Since darn, I was hoping free running, for whatever reason, I associate it with Outlaws, that mechanic from Thunder Junction. Unfortunately, not applicable with free running, except I guess she is my commander. I can play a lot of those free running spells, but we're trying to cut, not add stuff. I'm also not a big. Well, I guess Delve can't be too bad because we mill plenty of other things other than pirates. Well, plenty of fodder to deal with. Give up this. Not very on theme for our creature package. I don't know if I'll generate enough pirate. Well, it's possible, I suppose. Hmm. This might be one of those nights where I play test it, then come back and revisit and try finding that perfect blend. This helps fix a lot of our clunkiness too. Hmm. 9. Well, we're not doing too bad. Okay. I think we need to be more critical and cut from the top now. Hmm. Significant. I think we need to not cut creatures if can. That's 22 in the list. Probably give this up. Got 2. You might have to go. I don't know how consistently I pull off the bottom paragraph. That was being realistic. I'm gonna go. We got a couple of pirates at removal, so maybe we could cut down our less efficient stuff. Um, Counterspell that I had in here more for flavor. Because we got Hostage Taker, have the ETV pirate turns, yeah, 3 or 2 rather. Darkly Devil makes 3. Yeah, we can cut some 2-drop removal spells. Maybe we get rid of Fungify and Rapid Hybridization because we don't want blockers coming up the field for our aggro list. That's 3. Got 4 left to cut. Yeah, it is part of the luck of the draw. Ways you could mitigate, drawing so little mana is increasing your card advantage count. I run typically somewhere between 14 and 16 card advantage pieces in any deck that I play. And like even in this aggro list, I'm running that many. And that enables you so you consistently make land drops and you find your way through that early to mid game. It rarely happens to me. Once in a blue moon, I get pretty screwed. Yeah, I think he's exceptionally. 2 left, and we can try this out, see how it works. Yeah, this is still good, even though I'm only running 22 creatures. It's still pretty darn good. Always hard. I could be kind of skimpy and try cutting another land and picking another stupid thing. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I wanted to try this out. I don't know if I'm running enough creatures to warrant its use. Probably not myself. 1 cut left. Maybe Altar's too specific. I think if I get in the early game, it doesn't do me any good. Yeah, maybe I'm crazy for doing that, but we're gonna try this out, see how it plays out. We'll revisit this, give it a try. Well, it's typal. Or can I not type tribal anymore in here? It's kindred. People lack a spine, or at least the folks at Moxfield like lack a spine. Don't want to call things what they used to. Gotta be politically correct. But a theft, not even an option either. Definitely aggro. Extra turns. Or we could say extra combats too. We like those. There's some good dredge creatures I could throw in here too. Have to keep that in the back of my mind after we playtest this. We got some mill in here. Animators on our commander. A little bit of stacks pieces in here. Token theme. Okay. I'll put the list in the description below, so if you guys want to do anything with this, you can. I wonder if he'll let me edit this midstream. That'd be kind of funny. You load if you want to look at the list. You can edit this. All right. There you go, folks. There's the list for you, y'all. That's probably not going to be permanent, depending on how this game goes. Bad. About 35 minutes of just editing. Thought it'd take me longer. I guess there's not a single ship in this list, so I guess we'll call it boatless and hose. Look at deck image. During Grixis, there has to be a Nico Bolas. There we go. There we go. More fitting title. Maybe boatless hose. Yeah, there we go. Just rolls off the tongue so much better. expensive tonight will be. 17 bucks. Let's see. Do I have all the cards? I'm missing one. I hate it when this happens. You never know which one it is. And it organizes it by price, so it's a little tougher. Broadside Bombardiers represents 12 bucks of this. That's pretty funny. This is pretty popular due to, I think it's legacy and vintage. It's usually one of the commander cards that it's one of these Lost Caverns, I'm sure. Ramirez. Wanderer. Missing one. We have Edward. And I got Edward. Admiral Brass. Is it really my commander that's missing? That's hilarious. The key piece to the deck, and we don't even. It couldn't find it. It's funny. There we go. Sorry that took me so long. We'll get the. You guys want the this version, or do you want the old lady version? Young, old, young, old. I think this tells a better story. Let's go with the top one. Now I gotta buy some tickets. I always miss it my first attempt. Not bad. 20 bucks for a budget list. But $20 and then um what's this list going for in paper? It's pretty up there. $3,700. Not cheap in paper. Ooh, we got some packs open here. I got one. What we get? An offer you can't refuse, the fuller version. That's nice. We'll take it. Now we're just waiting for the bot to invite me. If you ever wanted to learn how to buy cards, unfortunately, it's a very painful process when you start to learn if you want to play Bodo. But after you do it a couple of times, it gets a lot easier. There's a lot of steps. But normally, if you are learning or you've heard of this game, someone is out there that wants to teach you. You just gotta find them. I wouldn't be a bad person to teach you. I'm very patient. I think it's because I'm a registered nurse, and that requires a lot of patience. Or it's because I'm a parent of 2 kids. It could also be a factor. All right, we're ready, folks. Gosh, they change this menu every time I get online and play. We definitely are playing extra turns, so we can't join this guy. Not infinite extra turns, but we are taking extra turns. And unfortunately, it's necessary with this list because we have a clunky game plan. Very mid-rangey creature deck. And the extra turn spells kind of smooth out our game. Now, am I looping it from my graveyard? No. Not doing that kind of stuff. So, pretty fair extra turns list. I don't even think I'm running that many. I'm running the 3 that don't exile themselves, and that's purely because they're cheap. Time warp, time manipulation, and capture Jingzhou. I think I pronounced it right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's fair and reasonable. If people get upset over those, then I think I can't knock on people getting upset about Magic too hard because I get upset about Magic sometimes too. Like last week and the week before were brutal weeks for me. I got pub stomped 2 weeks ago, and then last week it was just bad behavior of people surrendering and kind of really warping the game and the outcome because of those choices. Those are the big things I remember. I do remember the end of last week's night where uh, a guy did a spite play against me and handed the game to someone else instead of playing for themselves. Which hasn't happened to me in a long time. I don't remember the last time someone did that to me. There we go. Time for our reward. I doubt I figured this out on my first go here. Test this guy out. Isa the Restless. Oh, this is the Tarmogoyf lady. I played against one of these a couple of weeks ago and never got off the ground because he was dealing with the control list. And Xyrus is an oldie and a goodie. It's like a kind of a big bad in the teamer commander world. Although there's a lot of big bads in teamer colors, fortunately. We have a lot of red cards in hand, but no red source. If I had a red source with the Soul Ring, I would have kept this for sure. We are running 35 lands, so Mystic Remora, Fiery Islet could fix a lot of our problems. Unfortunately, we're on the back end of the game. Like these guys get free plays before us. Hopefully, they don't have a lot of turn one stuff. For those of you who are watching and I didn't say hi, you're not showing up on my notifications here. So let me check on YouTube. Maybe I could see who's all watching there and give you a proper greeting. Should really practice this stuff more. I wish it told you who's in here. I feel like there is a way and I just don't know it. Got a good start. I bet it's another rock. Okay. Hmm. Oh, you could add ads from here. I'm not gonna do that, by the way, but hey, Scalding Tarn's not bad. Use a black source. Oh, you want to make me smaller? Sure, I can do that. Oh, no, let me undo. Damn it. I was supposed to play Mystic Remora. Oh well. Alright, I got distracted by the question. Make myself smaller. There you go. Better? We don't have too smooth of a game now, do we? Although I guess no matter what, my mid play was going to be a little clunky because I wouldn't be able to follow up with Rakdos Signet. I don't think we met Running Man. Thanks. Welcome. There's actually a couple of faces in here I've never met, like Chromewick. Maybe you are already subscribers. If you are, I'm sorry. I don't get like a notification with specific names. Xyrus is kind of a problem for us because it really gunks up the board. All the little 1/1s he dumps out. Oh, what's up, man? Maybe the Mystic delaying it was not a bad plan because now we could pay for stuff and get our Rakdos Signet down if we draw another land. Cool, welcome. Are you familiar with Magic the Gathering Online? Oh, okay. Your own. You own this precon? I don't. I thought Admiral Brass was like one of those commander cards that was right. Okay. Yeah. So I thought Brass was one of those like insert cards from the bonus like commander cards. Then again, I don't really buy the pre-constructed commander decks that much anymore. I only buy them when 30 or more cards are unique. Yeah, that's cool. I I use um my favorite thing to do when I was in the military. I um had telemetry duty every now and then. And telemetry is when you look at people's heart rhythms and you're just staring at a screen with literally the heart electrical rhythms of 40 different people on the screen, and it gets pretty boring. I just play Magic in the background and I listen to it. You can't watch anything. Um, it's like radio, a little more stimulating than I guess music sometimes. Damn, we're getting some. We need to hit a land here, Mystic, so we could pay this tax and play our signet. People are playing into it though, pretty nicely. There we go. Okay, we're golden pony boy. I missed out on. See, only 2 cards from this Mystic from my misplay. Could have been worse. I. It's weird because if I did the proper thing, then I would have had a clunky mid game with a signet. But because I messed it up, now my like mid game is perfectly fine, and I still see a bunch of cards. I'll keep that in mind the next time I have like an opener like this, a 2-drop rock and a mystic, just for how it's performing and working right now. Just a little memory bank experience. Uh, we don't care what, we're gonna take damage no matter what. What mana we have left over is gonna be invested into a colorless spell. Now that we have excess cards in hand, we're forced to discard. We could give up a pirate, and now we have a target for this. We go for the removal play. Steal one of these soul rings. Ooh, that feels kind of good. I'd like to do it twice though. Steal 2 soul rings, and that would really fix our mana problem actually. So maybe we give up the anthem one. Yeah, I like that plan. Yeah, I feel like I'm living a Bob Ross moment. Happy little mistakes or happy accidents. And this is the perfect example of what I meant Chromwick about the power of drawing cards. And I could have been in the scenario you were describing, but because I saw so many cards, I could fix my problem from that position or this position, no problem. Hopefully we see another land. If we do, I'll give up this sick and then go for the hostage taker stealing Soul Ring play. And in terms of who I'd steal it from, I guess the player on the left first because they're a little bit further ahead. The guy in the middle is also, he's pretty pissed. He's cursing in the chat because he's missing a red source. Let me swivel for all of you so you can read that one. Unfortunately, I started out because I have friends and family that watch this at work, and some of you are actively working too. So, and I try to keep my cursing to a minimum too for that same reason. Sometimes I do. If it's an F bomb, I'm pretty good in the post production about, you know, editing that out with something fun. And that brings me to the next subject of normally I take these videos from my stream and I chop them up into something short and digestible for people to watch more conveniently, but been so busy with work I haven't had much time to do it, unfortunately. Which I think my plan is in the future to do deck techs and gameplay videos in one video instead of breaking them up into two. I wonder if that's better and just make the deck techs more short and sweet. We didn't find a land. That sucks. Or we keep going just to find another land drop. I wish I had a 2-drop to, you know, for something to do. Yeah, let's just give it up. I could take one soul ring. Hopefully my hostage shaker doesn't die before I can cast it. Oh, we drew it on the draw step. Damn. We got lucky. Better to be lucky than good, as I always say. So. Let's draw the ire of the Tarmogoyf player and really just piss him off. Nice and early in this game. The key with playing theft cards, or theft decks, is you never take too much from one person, because if you do and surrender, all your efforts go up in smoke, and then you're playing from a behind position. So if you take a little bit from everybody, they become less inclined to surrender because they're hopefully less bitter about losing their shit to you. Pro tip if you ever have an interest in building a theft deck. And that's from like a I'm trying to win perspective, not a I'm trying to be friendly perspective. Most of my games I'm trying to win. I don't think winning is everything, but like that's why we're all sitting here is we're all trying to win with a particular strategy. So like, bare minimum, that's what I expect from most people. Like that's probably why I dislike group hug decks and chaos decks is because that's not their focus. Their focus is just to be annoying and irritate people. That's where their source of enjoyment comes from. Oh my god. A little scary. Just put in 8 power. Because these guys don't have anything to block with. Damn. Might be a short game. Just get around my Mizium mortars. Oh, I got Ashiok. I could exile his graveyard and then these all lose power and toughness. Hey! Good thing I stole this guy's Soul Ring, am I right? We lost a mirror player because he couldn't get his red source and didn't want to stick it out. Now the unfortunate part is if I does this care about other people's graveyards or is it his own? It's all graveyards, so it's somewhat significant. They'll get +2, +3 from my graveyard. Yeah, I guess we play our commander, try to make our graveyard a little bit smaller, and then I could kill these things off with Mizium mortars, hopefully. Hopefully nothing terrible happens between now and then. Fortunately, this is a mill trigger. And stuff got a little bit bigger. Gem Cutter Buccaneer's nice. That fixes a lot of our mana problems too. I think we're playing on the defensive though. Get more pirates down. You don't have to run by. My wife ran by. She doesn't. So normally I have a screen behind me, but I got a program where I don't need that anymore. So we get Gem Cutter first. Oh man, this ability is a lot better than I thought it was. It's even the turn you play it. That's pretty darn significant and cool. Right, everyone can just block and stuff me out, so we're not in a rush. Right, we don't have an artifact we're stealing. Take our 10 damage, and because eventually these things are going to die. Try to get Ashiok down and reduce their size a little bit. Take our lumps for now. I would like to let this die, but there's nothing worth me stealing yet. And since he devoted both of those at me, he only gets to make one Tarmogoyf instead of two. Which is kind of weird. He should have devoted at least one over here so he can get some more value, because he wasn't going to block with that. So I have artifact, creature, enchantment, land. So you get +5. Oh. Damn. Even after I exile the graveyards, these are still going to be 5 toughness. That mill trigger was good and bad because we hit 4 permanent types and 1 mill trigger. Or card types, I should say. That's a pretty good card. Pairs well with this because he hits us for a bunch of damage, makes a bunch of 1/1s, and then he pings us for a bunch of damage. Hopefully he doesn't get like a damage multiplier or some way to make this bigger, because then we might just die before it even gets to our turn. Oh god. So he makes 2 more of these. So he'll hit someone for 3. Make 3 bodies, and then drain us for 9. Oh. It's gonna sting. I play One Ring and see what happens and milk some more value out of this. Who knows? Maybe this guy will kill him, or vice versa. All this is in play. Buy us a lot of time. Guess he's leaving up some like interaction over there. I could take an extra turn too. So we get like 2 revolutions of the table of being uninteracted with. You can see a bunch of cards too. Yeah, I feel pretty good in this position. Ooh, raise the palisade. Couldn't have asked for a better card. Okay, we answered a lot of problems this game. And now we don't take damage. This guy takes damage. And then I have all the tools to deal with this over here. Fix. If I play more pirates first, I get... Oh, the treasure comes to tap. Never mind. Oh, my treasures are stat increases. I could throw on my first strikers so I could block these a little bit better. Faithful Truth is good here. See 3 more cards. Drain him for 9. Of course. Do your thing. Oh, we made the guy in the left surrender. Okay. Get another pirate down. Ooh, you know what? It might be safer. Could I Alpha Strike him with more pirates in play? So we're definitely going to be playing a lot of tempo stuff. I'm debating if Ashiok is better here so he can't tutor for something to potentially answer my board, or if I want another body down to potentially kill him in one attack. I guess I have enough ways of like stringing them along that I don't need the damage, so we're gonna go with the Ashiok safe play. Yeah, no problem, man. Have a good night. Get our pirate here? Of course we want to use that. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. I don't know what could possibly happen to us, but I probably should have built myself instead of him. What do we hit with that mill trigger? Bunch of lands and mithril coat. Not too spicy. Now you could go to combat and still attack my planeswalker. That gives up a bunch of pieces too. Kind of want him to tap out so he doesn't have interaction. What is this? Crater Hoof. Okay. I don't think he recalls, but he can't hurt me due to the One Ring. I think he just forgot that I can't be damaged. This is a bit of an oops on his part. He might be just realizing it now after the damage isn't hitting me. Fortunately, I lost that guy's Soul Ring. That was a useful piece to our game over here. Ancient 2 made bad. We got 9 life. We're going to use all of it. Right. Source. Any of that. Her name Pirate. Send all that crap back to your hand. And then we're going to mill ourselves. Hopefully we find a pirate to animate. No, I messed that up. Should have milled myself earlier to increase our odds. It's alright. I guess we could draw. See, I gotta do the math. Because if I take an extra turn, that's 1 damage, 2 damage. So 4, no. 3. It'll be close if I draw here. I don't think I should. Weird that it's asking me to do this again. Okay, there we go. Can be cast until end of this turn. Fortunately, we are taking the extra turn. Oh yeah, because we didn't even need more pirates. Cut his life by more than half. That is the game. I won't waste any time playing stuff. We'll just. I'm sure he. See me just goof around over here for no reason. If you've ever wondered the power of tempo, this is a really good example of what it can do. We tempoed with the One Ring followed by the counter or the extra turn spell, so we couldn't be interacted for basically 3 turns. We had the turn where we played the One Ring, then we had the turn after the One Ring, and then we had the turn with the extra turn spell, and that was enough value to do what we just did there and make a comeback. And that was to get through all the clutter. I was really worried about the snake player, and then the Goyf player had a really good start too. I hope, Sam, you're happy with that list. I was also pretty worried about the creature count being as low as it was, 22. I'm sure there's some folks on Reddit that would hate that, but everyone's an expert on Reddit. I kind of took a little bit of everything with designing this. I really wanted to take advantage of the mill, so I constantly or consistently have that return trigger. Took a little bit from the extra turns, and that was extra turns are a little necessary in here. I'm only running 3 of them, but the reason why they're important in this list is it deals with several problems. It gives our creatures pseudo haste as an aggro list. It lets us tempo people and get combat like we just did. It lets us untap our mana and use it again to play all of our clunky stuff. Versus like an extra combat spell. They're good, but that doesn't untap our mana. It doesn't let us play more things. So that's particularly why I didn't go down the extra combat like direction. Yeah, but if you wanted to, I could understand why one would do that. But just let me know that extra combats are probably a necessary evil if you want to play Admiral Brass as your commander. And that's so that could function. What was the other cool synergies? Chains of Mistopheles. I didn't get to play it. We saw it get milled in our early game. This card's an A-lister in here. Fuels our graveyard for the animation trigger. It also prevents people from farming. It's a $1,000 card because it's on the reserve list, and it's super good. In the event that someone would draw an additional card beyond their first, they have to discard a card. and if they can't discard a card, they mill from the top of their library. So, um, if that affects us, we don't care. It mostly just hoses the people who just want to draw cards, and that's a popular theme in Commander. Um, and like I said earlier, I run like 16 card advantage pieces in any list I play. Um, this hoses even the people who are just trying to play fair too. The best times to play cards like Chains or these symmetrical things is when you could build it asymmetrically and get some kind of advantage around it, like our commander. So it works in our list. But there are like synergy all stars that we can get to play with freeing sanity. Instead of enchanting someone else, we enchant ourselves. Um, Double Down gets our pirate count nice and high because pirates are outlaws. Didn't get to show that either. We have a really cool enchantment package I'm noticing that we didn't really get to play with. We accidentally milled Roaming Throne. That could have been really fun. Getting double the mill trigger and then animating two things instead of one every combat. Force of Recruiter and the blue creature Merchant Raiders, they trigger whenever a pirate enters, which makes them super good. It cleans up the blockers on the field, so you can get in more consistently. Um, how'd you guys like that list? You want me to play again? You want me to change some things out? Or some things that you didn't see in my list that you kind of hope that I wish, or kind of hope that I played? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Um, I guess we could talk about future plans while we wait for. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, learning tempo. Yeah. Um, Another factor about tempo that's really important is keeping your CMC of your deck nice and low. Yeah. Um, that's also a factor. So if you go down here and look at my average with lands is 1.88, and that the reason why having a low count is important is a tempo reason. It lets you string multiple spells together in one turn. Um, the person who could see the most cards and cast the most cards, uh, 99% of the time wins. And that's why keeping your CMC count nice and low. If you pay attention to like CDH and the competitive players, their CMCs are even lower, and that's for the same reason of being able to cast multiple spells, so they not only stay um, or keep up with their opponents, but have a chance to accelerate past them. And my big like tempo plays with the ring and the extra turn spell was kind of like the inverse, where it was a rubber band effect, where I was behind, and those are like my big haymaker spells to really turn the table on its head. Um, Other stuff that kind of do that are like Crater Hoof, like that other player played and just forgot that there was a delayed effect for my one ring in play. Normally, that's a big tempo play that just I don't even know if you could call it a tempo play because normally it's a game finisher. I guess tempo has another definition of just uh, the intention is not to win the game from a single card, but it's supposed to flip the script in terms of who's leading and who's winning, or who's losing and who's winning. Um, if you want another tempo story, deflecting SWAT, I have a special story about this card. I was playing CDH with my Windgrace list, and I was playing against some aggro red list with Ragavan, and this guy taps down all his mana to equip Sword of Feast of Famine. He had a creature with Summoning Sickness, and when he went to equip his Ragavan with the sword, I moved it to that creature, and that prevented me from dying, and I reversed the game and won. And in that sense, that was a tempo play that made all the difference because it's a free spell. It doesn't cost anything to do it if you have your commander in play. Like little slim margins like that make a huge difference. I think more so nowadays because people are getting better about building decks, and I think it's because there's a lot of content creators. There's a lot of people who know what they're doing to provide guidance and tips. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I had a great laugh when I did that too. um, like those slim margins make all the difference nowadays because people are getting better at building. If there was anything else, I think tonight was also a really good lesson about not beating yourself up for making a mistake. I've seen people lose their temper, like complete strangers in a store, over a play mistake or want to rewind and not learn anything from it. I try to hold people accountable and say, it's too late, and that's not from like I'm trying to win standpoint. I'm trying to teach you something about yourself and make you improve as a player. And I have friends that I played historically with where um, I've tolerated them rewinding, and then they just don't improve as a player. And it's one of those things where um, I guess friends tell you what you want to hear, and the good ones tell you what you need to hear. And most of the time, I told people what they need to hear. And then again, I'm a very confrontational individual in person. If you have a bad behavior in a public space, I'm definitely going to check you. And it's not going to be the raising of my voice or shouting match competition. It's going to be, I'm going to make you feel really stupid for how you're acting. I guess there have been times, though, where I've gotten angry enough. It's been a while. I think it's been 4 years since I've truly gotten angry in public. And sometimes that's another thing you have to weigh into when you're dealing with angry people, if it's worth being confrontational about. Um, for instance, if it's a close friend and you know what arguments end in with them, is it more important to educate them about a game, or is it more important to maintain a friendship? And then you have that to decide and make a decision from. Social interactions are hard. uh, I think Commander is a good way to improve them. I definitely wasn't a strong socially interactive person. I wish I could play more in person, but my life and my responsibilities don't really allow me to anymore, which is a bummer. Now I have to talk through a lens and a computer screen with folks. I think if I really wanted to, though, I could talk to more people more often. But my close friends, they have lives too, and they're changing. It's hard to talk to them in person. And most of the time, if I do talk to them, it's through Discord. And yeah, I guess that's life. Thank you all of you for watching. Thanks for coming. I hope you all enjoyed my rant about life or learned something about magic. One of the two. Hope I see you again, and hope you enjoy the rest of my content. If you do like it and want to stick around, have a good night. Bye.